A person should direct his heart and the totality of his behavior to one goal, becoming aware of God. Okay, 16. In Shmona Prakim, chapter 5, the Rambam addresses himself to many of the concepts mentioned in this and found in Halachah. He begins that chapter with the declaration. A person must control all the powers of his soul with his intellect and concentrate on a single goal at all times. To comprehend God, blessed be He, to the extent that man can know Him. So of course, I mean, up to a certain point, we can know God. So the more we learn, the more we understand the way He works.
Right, that's exactly what Ramchal says. He says, like, our goal is to, like, get as close to him as possible, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the goal.
But how? The more you learn Torah, the more you. That's what HaShem said. You only can connect to me through Torah.
Right.
Okay. Continue. All of his activities, what he does, the way he rests, the way he and what he says should lead to this goal. So wherever he talks and wherever he does, it should be for serving Hashem. So basically, it's after learning this halacha, so we have to rewire our mind to have this always like in front of our mind, like always, like whatever I do, I serve Hashem. So here, I mean, when we learn Torah, it's easy, that's straightforward. But with other mundane things, so we have to always serve Hashem.
And notice that when I'm at work, in the beginning, there's only one person that I really talk to. And I would talk to him when everybody leaves and it's just me and him in the store. I would talk to him. There's nothing else that would matter to me except for Torah. Like I would, just to try to give him some like cool insights I learned from, Rabbi Yaron or from something I learned.
Mm-hmm.
And a part of me just was like a little shied away from talking about it in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like the more I started sanctifying him, the more I don't. It doesn't even bother me. Like I don't care who's listening because he's important to me, right? He's a Jewish soul that I care about deeply, and that's it. I don't care who's listening. We talk about work because it's work.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the time now I started telling him like, oh, did you know this? Listen, he's like, I thought about it, so
Mm-hmm.
HaShem one day,
But that's exactly what David HaMelech says.
Right.
I don't remember what Tehillim was it, but it says.
In the Chamber of Kings, I even speak of
Yes, yeah, and I'm not embarrassed. So they discuss.
I started thinking, why am I embarrassed? David HaMelech said, "Don't be embarrassed." Like even
exactly. So through all of these ages, he sends you a message. So that's what it says. That all of this Torah that was written. So Hashem said, "I want you to know all of the Torah." Why? Because it was written for all of the generations. That's why it is important to learn all of the Torah, not only parts of it. Okay, so continue. The way he rests, right? The next sentence. The way he rests, rises, and speaks should be directed to this end. 17. In the previous Halachah, Rambam condemns asceticism and overworldliness. In this Halachah, he stresses the desired intent of our worldly involvement to know God. In chapter 1, Halachah 6, Rambam introduced a religious component into development of the ethical personality, pointing out that we must imitate God's quality. Right? We must imitate God's quality. In this halacha, he adds a further point. All men's actions are to be directed to the awareness of God. Okay, so first we have to imitate. So wherever Hashem is kind, we have to be kind and stuff like that, right? And now all men's actions are to be directed to awareness of God. So imitate and to be aware of Hashem all the time.
That I think is like a very difficult thing. So like I always try to think of that like the 13 attributes that Hashem had, slow to anger, and like I look at those attributes and I'm like, okay, I shouldn't get angry. Hashem is slow to anger. Like my grandma like still gets to me, like it's hard to, so she knows how, like she's one of the hardest people for me to like keep not angry, and it's gonna.
Why is that?
I don't know. She knows the thing. I guess she knows what to say in order to like, I don't know.
Make you angry.
No filter,
But on another hand, so just imagine yourself to talk to a child, like 3 years old. I mean, he's mumbling, bumbling, well, whatever he heard, like in a kindergarten. Are you going to be mad at him? And it's not. Let's say it's not your child. It's a neighbor's child. Okay, so he's saying, she's saying, but don't take it personally. It's like I don't know. That's what I do.
Yeah, but it's like it's like my grandma. Like it's hard.
All right, so it happened to be your grandma, but okay. So I mean that's what I do. I just ignore such a people.
I gotta try.
I don't. There are many people who I don't take seriously. They're not serious about their life, their purpose of life. So I try to do whatever I try to do. They're not interested. I'm not interested. Right. I mean, but I must talk to them from time to time. Okay, I'm going to talk, but I'm going to try to make it as short as possible.
Okay.
Then they say, why you always need to go? I said, that's what my life. I always need to go.
Right.
That's it. Okay, so if she cares after a few times that you say I need to go, so she'll get the point. And okay, so I have this issue with my aunt. So she didn't. So at the end of her life, she actually did teshuvah.
No way! Amazing.
And she was living in this small town back in Ukraine. And it used to be in that town. I think there are several yeshivas. Well, it's like a shtetl.
Wow.
So the Nazi, of course, killed many Jews, and she was maybe one of the last 5 or 10 Jews living there.
I found my grandfather giving an interview here in America when he was like telling about when he was 12 years old and the Nazis came to Poland. He lived in like some Smoga or something. I don't know. Sometime I found like a whole hour and a half interview, and I was just like talking about like everything, like how he was 12 when it all happened. I was just shocked. But everybody was religious. This is my dad's side. Everybody was religious until they.
There was no other way. I mean, yeah.
Grandfather was a cantor, like he was a chazan.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, that's amazing. So basically, so I was, so she lived alone, and I would call her from time to time.
From here?
Then, but then the conversation became like not as often, and like only a minute or two. And she said, "Well, what's going on? I said that there's nothing to talk. You're not interested in God, so and I'm interested in it very much. So if you want, I can send you books. If you promise you're going to read books, I'm going to send you books." And she said, "Okay, send me books." So I sent her books, and she started reading. And after some time, so our conversation would be an hour. You understand? When we have common ground, when people say, "I'm not interested,"
I gotta try.
You're not interested in life. Somebody wants to jump from the bridge. I'm going to talk to this guy. I know if I have power to say, but listen to his nonsense. If he decided to jump or he wants to somebody to talk to, stop it.
I gotta try to do that with my family. I'll send you books. You want to talk? I'll send you books. Read them.
Yeah, and then like that's what Rabbi Reuben says many times in his lectures. When somebody wants to talk, okay, I want to meet you, right? And how I'm going to meet you? I'm going to send my personal story, and then we talk.
Right.
But we're not going to talk before you listen, before you watch, because it's useless. I mean, why should I say exactly the same thing like over and over?
Right. Okay.
Okay, so continue. The concept of knowing God recalls the opening Halachah of the Mishnah Torah. The fundamental principle upon which all fundamental principles are based, and the pillar of the wisdom, is to know that there is a primary being. That's the most important part, is to know there is only HaShem. Ein od milvado, right? Only him. In both halachas, Rambam emphasizes how the knowledge of God is not an abstract intellectual pastime, but rather an all-encompassing commitment, embracing every aspect of our experience. Right? So it's many people say like, how do you know it's God? Can you prove? Not prove? Well, so for many people, it's like even the religious people, it's like abstract concept. You understand the knowledge of God, of His existence.
Right.
It's it's very strange, but it is a fact.
The worst question that I hate is, why doesn't He just come and show Himself to me? And I'm like thinking,
exactly.
Are you Rabbi? You sinned your whole life. Why would He even touch you?
No, but I think the answer is when you're going to seek Him, it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
So it says clearly, the Torah says person cannot seek Him and stay alive. Okay, when you want to seek Him, so I also had it many times. So I said, okay, that's what Torah says. If you want to see Him in person, I and all of our congregation, we start praying for you meeting, so you die faster, maybe even tonight. You know. So if you want to see, but if you want not in such a rush to see Him, so you can learn about Him, right? So and by intellectual discovery, you can see that He exists. Torah living does not confine God to the synagogue. It does not to the synagogue or the house of study, but provides us with the means to relate to Him within every dimension of our lives. Al Hatishur. So it says. That's the thing. Like some people I see on the shop. I saw few guys. So they went out of the shul and they took off the kippah and went wherever they went.
I've seen that.
So it's very sad. So basically the Judaism stops right here after they
took it for this is the world we live in, where Moshe Fendelson still lives in this world today. You know, the guy who said you should be a Jew in private and then in public be like the goys. Yeah.
It's very sad. Okay.
Very
sad. Number 17. Okay.